Hi, I'm Rachel, and this is my July 2023 book haul. This also being July as my birthday month is my birthday book haul. And in that vein, I could whine and say, maybe there aren't as many books here as I might like. But then again, my unread shelves are getting rather full again. I mean, I have some books even sitting on top of books, so I really have no reason to complain, and I'm very excited about what I do have. And I'm going to start with something which isn't a traditional book. This is a literary magazine. This is Conjunctions. And this particular issue is called Ways of Water. It looks like it's number 80. And I got this through the Journal of the Month subscription that I have, which technically my subscription is a quarterly subscription. And so this month marked a new quarter for the summer, and I got a new journal, and I am excited for it. My intent is to read one short story per reading video, but I am already a little bit behind. I'm reading through an anthology right now, and then I have my Iowa review that I got in the spring to get through, and then there's this big chunkster. This has a lot of material in it, and in fact I'm a little overwhelmed, and I'm not quite sure how to differentiate between the fiction and other prose styles, the like essays and nonfiction and all of that. So it's a little overwhelming, but I guess I'll read from this pub sheet. Dear reader, we're delighted to share our spring 2023 issue, Conjunctions number 80, Ways of Water, with you as part of this year's Journal of the Month program. Each issue of Conjunctions gathers innovative new writing from emerging voices and celebrated masters alike, all responding to a theme through a variety of styles and approaches. Ways of Water explores the nature of water in our lives and those of our fellow beings. Through fiction and poetry, ecological and climate writing in a multitude of genres, this issue brings together a wide community of writers to plumb this most essential matter so basic to the survival of all flora, all fauna on this fragile water blue planet. And then there's some information about purchasing more issues of the journal, and it says we additionally publish new writing online each week, which you can read on conjunctions.com. If you sign up for our newsletter, we'll send you an email each Wednesday featuring that week's poem, story, or essay, as well as updates and news. Okay, so I do intend to try to mine the fiction short stories out of this, and I will be reporting back with upcoming AM reading videos. Next, I gave myself a little gift by picking up The Latecomer by Jean Hanff Korelitz at the DC Public Library. Some of the branches have sort of do-it-yourself, pay-for-used books set up like in little bookshelves in the library. So I found this a couple weeks before my birthday, and it had been on my TBR, and I even heard the author give an interview with Hadassah several months back. I can link to that video down below. So I thought, why not? I'd really like to try it. And the timing is faux apropos, I suppose, because Korelitz is writing a contemporary story about the Oppenheimer family, which for her that is descendants of Joseph Suss Oppenheimer, who was a German court Jew who was executed in the 18th century, based, I think, largely on anti-Semitic precedent. And he had been childless, but she imagined this legacy that, like in this fictional world, he, had heirs, and this legacy was borne down throughout the years. I think it's only partially part of this story. Really, the story is very contemporary. And of course, I'm thinking of a very different Oppenheimer right now because of the Nolan movie, which just came out, but I thought it was amusing to bring up. And finally, I have a couple of gifts from family members who graciously got me things I asked for. This is Standing Again at Sinai, Judaism from a Feminist Perspective by Judith Plaskow, which is something I've known about for a while, and then I think someone on Book Riot brought it up in a Jewish-themed article, and I it was on my radar again, and I was thinking it might be fun to have something to read over the high holidays. This is the sort of literature I like to read over the Jewish high holidays, which is about sort of challenging patriarchal norms of Judaism and trying to find a place for women. This book, in fact, is several decades old by now. I guess it's the 90s, which actually is several decades by now. I can't quite believe that, but I do think I'll be getting to this in September. And finally, I have my last Geraldine Brooks backlist book to my name now. I have a project this year that I want to read all of Geraldine Brooks's backlist, and this is Year of Wonders, which is the last one I didn't have access to. So I actually do think I'll be reading this along with two others in December. And I'll tell you what it's about by reading from the back. When an infected bolt of cloth carries plague from London to an isolated mountain village, a housemaid named Anna Frith emerges as an unlikely heroine and healer. Through Anna's eyes, we follow the story of the plague year 1666, as her fellow villagers make an extraordinary choice. Convinced by a visionary young minister, they elect to quarantine themselves within the village boundaries to arrest the spread of the disease. But as death reaches into every household, faith frays. When villagers turn from prayers to murderous witch hunting, Anna must confront the deaths of family, the disintegration of her community, and the allure of illicit love. As she struggles to survive, a year of plague becomes instead an annus mirabilis, a year of wonders. Hoping I said that correctly. And it is interesting to look at historical fiction and see parallels to real life issues with plague or virus and how we respond to it as a society. And it's also fun just to think of how widely Geraldine Brooks's inspirations go when it comes to her historical fiction. Like I just finished her Antebellum book, which is her most recent historical fiction novel. But yeah, expect to hear more about this book probably in early 2024 when I read it alongside the final other two books I have left on her novel backlist. And that about covers it for me now. I will leave Goodreads links for all of these books listed down below. And you should expect me back on this channel hopefully pretty soon. I'm going to do a final short stories video for July, which I like to do short story videos in July because to honor short stories for my birthday month because I read and write short stories. But anyway, every year I have been reading 7 stories from this chunkster, which is Best American Short Stories of the Century, edited by John Updike. So I'll give my thoughts on the next 7 coming up very soon, so stay tuned for that. I hope you are all having a wonderful time as we were speeding to the end of July with what you're reading or what else you are getting up to this season. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.